Hey guys, Troy Francis coming at you from New York City. So I wanted to do a quick video talking about bringing flirtation into your interactions with women. Now this is an incredibly important thing, and it's something that we always advise guys to do, because most guys are frankly too much of a nice guy. They're not really in touch with their sexuality. They're not really in touch with their masculinity, and they're kind of afraid to portray themselves in a physical, in a sort of sexualized way to the people that they date, because they're worried about rejection. They're worried, oh God, I'm going to offend her. Or they're worried about, oh, well, if I do this, then she might reject me, and that's going to feel bad, so I'm not going to do it. Okay? And that's the wrong way to think about this stuff. You need to be flirtatious. You need there to be an undercurrent of that sort of man to woman sexuality, sensuality in the interactions you have. Having said that, you also don't want to overdo it either. You've got to intersperse this with genuine conversation where you are actually seeking to get to know her on a more fundamental level as a person, and you're genuine curiosity, genuine interest. You are genuinely interested in her as a person, okay? You've got to intersperse it with that, because if you're just doing it, so I've worked with some clients recently and they get this whole thing, okay, right, I've got to be flirtatious, I've got to sexualize it. So they'll learn some lines, they'll take maybe some lines from, say, a book like How to Flirt with Girls by Tom Torero, which is really, really good for things like what they call spikes. So if the conversation's getting a little bit boring, you can throw in a little spike. Maybe, you know, just look at her as, oh my God, you look so good in that dress. You know, she's talking about her job or something, like, just stop a minute, sorry, I got distracted, you look so good in that dress. You can drop in little things like that, and it can be very effective. But the thing is, if you are too much on that path, if you're doing that too much, to the exclusion of actually having a normal conversation, actually getting to know her in a proper, authentic way, then she's also either going to think, well, this guy's just a player and he's just trying to sleep with me and I'm not interested in that, which is one thing. Or alternatively, she's going to think this guy is just like this horny puppy dog who, you know, is desperate, right? And that's also obviously a very bad look. So, and aside from those things, aside from whatever impression it might make on her, just thinking of this as an interaction, as a human interaction, right? It needs to be multifaceted, okay? If you are interested in her in that way, if you're interested in her physically, you should also be interested in her as a human being as well. That's just how it should be, okay? Now, sometimes I've worked with guys and they've said things like, oh, you know, I hate going on dates because these girls are so boring. They just want to talk about TikTok and, you know, oh God, I can't be bothered going. And for me, that is a nonsense. I mean, if you are finding you're going on dates with these women and you think they're all boring, I believe the problem is with you, okay? Because everybody is a unique human being with a unique perspective on the world, and they have some sort of insight, they have something that you can learn, they have something that you can discover, okay? And if you're not seeing that in anybody, and you're effectively just viewing these women as kind of, oh, I just want to get into bed with her and that's it, then the problem lies with you. The problem lies with how you view the world, or your lack of curiosity about other human beings. And I think that is a huge problem. I really do. And quite frankly, if that's where you're coming from, you don't really deserve to be enjoying intimacy with these women, because, you know, it's like, why would they want to go into something that's just purely transactional and doesn't have any gravitas or weight to it, okay? So you've got to develop your interest in other human beings. You've got to develop your genuine curiosity in terms of, you know, what she's about, what her vibe is, what she's interested in, what she's passionate about, all of those things. But that has to be interspersed with this flirtatious nature as well. Now, the other thing to say is that you've got to be very careful, and this is beyond the scope of a quick video walking around New York, but you've got to be very careful when you're introducing sexuality or teasing or flirtatiousness into these things, not to overdo it, okay? It has to be very much calibrated to her. So you might start off with something small, you know, you might start off with something little, and then sort of see how that goes, and you might build up from there, okay? Now, if you drop in something and it bombs and she's not happy to take the conversation in that direction yet, then obviously you have to pull back, okay? You don't just then drop in something else. You don't just then sort of like keep going and think, oh, I'll just throw in more stuff and hopefully she'll like it. That would be absolutely absurd. What you need to do is pull back and go into more of the, okay, so anyway, so tell me more about what you were saying before about your artwork, or, what you like to do, the sport that you're interested in, or the dance that you're interested in, or whatever. You need to pull it back. You need to be calibrated. So social awareness and just awareness of other human beings and how they're feeling, okay, is super, super key here. And is that something that's easy to teach? Probably not. Maybe it comes through experience, I don't know. But I think really, if you're reasonably calibrated to other people, you should be able to tell quite easily if somebody's comfortable with what you're saying or not, right? Because she's gonna, if you say something and she's somehow not comfortable with it, like if you say, oh, you look great in that dress, and she sort of says, well, and she kind of pushes back on that, then that should be pretty obvious, okay? It shouldn't take a rocket scientist to see that. And then you have to just be sensible about this. Don't think, well, it says on the internet I've got to be super flirtatious, so I'm just going to try something. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try something else. No, pull back, stop. Wait until she's more comfortable. All right. I mean, it's not rocket science, but it's amazing how many guys that we deal with who need this stuff explained to them. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Firstly, flirtation is necessary. Secondly, flirtation also needs to be interspersed with genuine conversation where you're genuinely trying to get to know her. And thirdly, you need to be always very mindful of her and very calibrated to her and her mood and what she's happy with in that particular moment, okay? I think that pretty much covers it, but if anyone's got any thoughts on this or comments, leave them below. If you want to jump on a call with me to discuss your dating situation, you can absolutely do that. There's a Calendly link below, so just hit that link, or drop me an email, troy@realtroyfrancis.com. Please do subscribe to the channel, and please hit the notifications bell as well, because God knows I am shadow banned, so if you want to keep up to date with the new videos come out, you need to do that. What else? Grab my collection of 11 books. It's called Renegade Dating Blueprint. The link is below, and I'll see you guys again very soon. From New York City, sayonara.